The American dream: freedom, success, a better life. It's the story we've all heard, the promise that pulls millions to the USA. But is it really what it seems? Today, we're busting 10 myths about the American dream, separating hype from reality with stories from real life. Buckle up, because some of these might surprise you. Let's dive in. Hard work alone guarantees the American dream. You've heard it, work hard, and you'll make it big. Movies love this story: rags to riches, just grind. But I've seen friends in the US work 2 jobs, barely paying rent. Hard work matters, sure, but it's not a golden ticket. Access to education, connections, and even luck play huge roles. My buddy tried launching a startup, great idea, but no investors, no dice. So if hard work isn't enough, what's the real story behind achieving the dream? Opportunities vary by access, not just effort. The truth? Your starting point matters. Kids with access to good schools or family wealth have a head start. I know a guy who got into tech because his uncle hooked him up with an internship. Meanwhile, others grind without those connections and struggle. Data backs this: 60% of wealth in the US is inherited. Effort counts, but the system often decides who gets the real shot. The American dream means owning a big house. Big house, white picket fence, that's the dream, right? TV shows make it seem like everyone in the US lives large. But in cities like LA, I've seen folks cram into tiny apartments, paying $2,000 a month for a closet-sized space. Buying a house? Forget it, median home prices hit $400,000. My neighbor saves every penny, but she's still years away from a down payment. If a big house isn't the dream, what does homeownership really look like? Homeownership is tough but flexible. Truth is, owning a home is a stretch for many. But the dream adapts. I know couples who rent long-term and invest in experiences, like travel or side hustles, instead of mortgages. In smaller towns, homes are cheaper. My cousin bought a fixer-upper for $150,000 in Ohio. Flexibility matters. The dream isn't one size fits all. It's about finding stability, not chasing a mansion. The American dream is only for immigrants. People think the American dream is just for newcomers chasing a fresh start. Movies show immigrants hitting the jackpot in the US. But I've met locals born here who chase it too: small-town kids dreaming of city jobs. My coworker, a third-generation American, started a bakery to live her version of the dream. It's not just an immigrant story, it's anyone's ambition. So, who really gets to chase the American dream? It's a universal pursuit for all. The dream belongs to everyone, not just immigrants. I've seen a mix: born and raised Americans, first-generation folks, all chasing their goals. A friend from Texas moved to NYC to act, while another, a refugee, became a nurse. The dream's core is personal ambition, not your passport. Stats show 80% of Americans, regardless of background, believe in creating their own success. It's about your drive, not your origin. College is the only path to the dream. You're told, get a degree, land the dream. But I know folks with degrees working retail, drowning in $50,000 debt. Meanwhile, my electrician friend, no college, makes $80,000 a year. The pressure to go to university is real, but it's not always the golden path. Many grads struggle in oversaturated fields like marketing. College can help, but it's not the only way. If college isn't the only way, what paths actually work? Skills and trades can lead there too. Truth is, trades and skills open doors. My cousin skipped college, learned coding online, and now earns 6 figures freelancing. Plumbers, welders, and chefs often outturn grads. Median trade salaries hit $60,000. In the US, demand for skilled workers is huge. 30% of job openings don't require degrees. The dream rewards hustle and expertise, not just diplomas. Pick a path that fits your strengths. The dream promises instant success. Pop culture makes you think the American dream is quick: start a business, boom, you're rich. But I've watched friends launch startups and fail in months. My own side hustle took 2 years to break even. Most success stories hide years of grind. Look at entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, decades of work before fame. Instant wins are rare. The dream tests your patience. If instant success is a myth, what's the real timeline for the dream? It's a long, patient journey. The American dream is a marathon. I know a teacher who saved for 10 years to open her own school. Setbacks like layoffs or failed ventures are normal. Data shows most small businesses take 3 to 5 years to profit. Resilience matters more than speed. You build the dream step by step, learning from flops. It's not glamorous, but sticking it out gets you there. The dream is all about fame and wealth. Hollywood sells the dream as red carpets and millions. But chasing fame left my friend, an aspiring actor, broke and stressed in LA. Most Americans don't want that. I've met folks happy running small farms or teaching kids. The obsession with being big overshadows quieter, fulfilling lives. Social media makes it worse, pushing likes over substance. Fame's a trap for many. If fame isn't the dream, what's at its heart? It's about purpose and fulfillment. The real dream is finding meaning. My neighbor quit a corporate job to start a community garden. Less money, more joy. Surveys show 70% of Americans value purpose over wealth. Whether it's raising a family or building a small business, the dream thrives on impact, not spotlight. You define success by what makes you feel whole, not what gets you famous. The dream is the same for everyone. You might think the American dream is a cookie-cutter goal: house, car, 2 or 5 kids. But I've seen it vary wildly. My friend wants to travel the world, no mortgage. Another saves to open a food truck. The US is diverse, and so are its dreams. Assuming one size fits all ignores culture, values, and personal priorities. That old-school image doesn't fit today's reality. If the dream isn't uniform, how does it really look? It's personal and diverse. The dream is whatever you make it. A single mom I know defines it as her kid going to college. A coworker sees it as owning a motorcycle shop. America's strength is choice. Your background, values, and goals shape your path. Surveys show 65% of Americans define success differently than their parents. The dream's beauty is its flexibility, letting you chase what matters most to you. Failure means the dream is dead. People think one flop kills the American dream. I failed my first business, lost $10,000 and felt like giving up. Society loves fail fast stories, but real failure stings. My friend's restaurant shut down after a year. She was crushed. The pressure to succeed instantly makes setbacks feel final. But most successful people I know stumbled before they soared. Failure's not the end. If failure isn't fatal, how does it fit into the dream? Failure builds resilience for success. Failure's a teacher. After my business tanked, I learned budgeting and pivoted to freelancing. Now I'm stable. My friend reopened her restaurant with a food truck, smarter this time. Studies show 80% of successful entrepreneurs failed at least once. The dream isn't about avoiding falls, it's about getting up. Each flop teaches you how to chase your goals better. Embrace it as part of the journey. The dream requires a big city life. You might think the American dream only happens in places like NYC or LA. Pop culture glorifies skyscrapers and hustle. But I know folks in small towns living their best lives. My aunt runs a bakery in rural Idaho, happy, debt-free. Big cities offer jobs, but also crazy rent and stress. Chasing the dream in a small town can be just as valid. If big cities aren't required, where can the dream thrive? It flourishes anywhere you choose. The dream isn't tied to a zip code. I've seen people thrive in suburbs, small towns, even online. A friend built a tech startup from a Nebraska farm, using remote work. Smaller areas often mean lower costs. Median rent in rural US is $800 versus $2,000 in cities. Your goals, not your location, define the dream. Pick a place that suits your life, and make it work. The dream is easier today than ever. Tech and opportunities make you think the dream's a breeze now. Start a TikTok, get rich, right? But my friend's online store barely breaks even. Competition is brutal. Wages haven't kept up with costs. Median rent rose 20% since 2010, but income's only 10%. Millennials like me face student debt and gig jobs. The dream's still there, but it's tougher than it looks. If the dream's harder, how do people still chase it? Adaptability keeps it alive. You've got to adapt. I know a guy who switched from retail to solar panel installation, better pay, growing field. People now make side hustles, like driving Uber or selling crafts, to stay afloat. Tech helps online courses teach skills cheap. Despite challenges, 70% of Americans still believe in the dream, per polls. It's not easy, but tweaking your approach keeps the goal in reach. Stay flexible, and you'll find your way. The American dream isn't a one-size-fits-all fairy tale. It's messy, personal, and full of surprises. From small towns to big cities, it's about chasing what matters to you, learning from flops, and staying flexible. Thanks for joining Truth Unearthed to bust these myths. Love real talk? Hit that subscribe button and join our crew for more myth busting. What's your version of the American dream? Drop it in the comments.